So this is the new Thumper meta. There's 3 different ways you can do this. The fastest is with Volt, Zada, Philarx. So Zada and Devouring both work on what's called Thumper. You basically want to use the same exact build if you're going to be using Archgun, Mazalan, and Philarx. There's a different build for Archibex. So let's go over that real quick. So Archibex, what you want to do is you just want to run Parallax dual rounds containment, you want to run radiation, and you want to run blast and elec, or I'm at radiation, elec, and blast, because what happens is, well, it already has base radiation, so it doesn't really matter. You want blast because the damage type, the health of the Thumper takes more damage from elec and blast, and we will be stripping with either Uneru. I prefer you to strip with Vasilok or Latron, because Matter gives you way more damage potential. So what you want to do is you want to run Electrified and Containment. Electrified just gives you more radiation damage, and then Containment Breach gives you multi-shot and more radiation damage as well. And we want to run Automatic Trigger for obviously more fire rate, and this is basically mandatory if you want to do high DPS. And that is basically it for Archibex. You also can throw on Necromech Intensify, not really necessary, but it's there. Okay, now let's go to the Philarx and Mazalan build. For the Mazalan, what you want to do is you want to have Rubido again, and then we want to build for Blast because this does not have innate Blast. So we want to throw Combustion and Polaron for Blast, and then we want Crit Chance. So we're going to run Parallax with Critical Focus, and then we want to throw on Hallowed Bullets with a the CC mods, so we get more crit damage, and then we want dual rounds for multi-shot, and then Containment Breach again for multi-shot and radiation damage. As you can see here, we have 1.9 multi-shot total, and on paper it says it should be doing 3.9. Okay, this is not accurate, but we're just going based off that. Okay, so with this Mazalan build, you want to pair it with your Volt build. So what you want to do on Volt is, if you're running that, you could either swap out Guardian for Arcane Tanker. If you have it max, it gives you 1200. This ensures that you don't die. You can swap this out. I don't have Prime Sure-Footed, so you could throw Prime Sure-Footed on if you do have it, to prevent knockback, to make your runs more efficient. And then what we want to do is, you also don't need to add it. I just have it on because I have nothing else to slot in. I have nothing that fits that I need. Okay, but you want is max strength and some duration. So you want Augur Secrets, Blind Rage, Transient Fortitude, and Precision Intensify. The reason we don't want Umbral is because we want to max out our Zada and Eclipse damage. If you're using Mazalan, you want to go Eclipse because Zada won't do shit. Alright, so you want to go Eclipse. This gives us 90% instead of the 44 from, where's Umbral? 44 from Umbral Intensify. And since we don't give a fuck about our strength on the other 3, because we do get more elec damage here, but the Eclipse and Zada boost will give us way more DPS from precision than we do from the 44% on shock, right? And then strength doesn't affect electric shield, so we don't need strength on that either. And you want Vigor because the reason that we want Vigor is because we also want to be running Matter Eye, and you want to have, where is it? Sling strength right here. So you sling twice into the floor, you get 40% more ability strength, and then pair that with Phoenix Hounds, we get 30% increased damage. That applies to your arch gun as well as your primary weapon or any weapon you use. We can also use Void Strike. I haven't tried it yet, but it should work. It should apply to your arch gun. So pair that with Molt Vigor, we also get another 45, so now we have a 85% ability strength total bonus from Molt Vigor and from Sling Strength. And then if you use Void Strike and Phoenix Hound, we get insane amount of extra damage. So you can see here I'm getting 95% more. I think on Eclipse, if I recall, it was about 556% damage boost on Eclipse at max light. And then you want to throw on Narrow-Minded and Prime Continuity just to ensure you get 227 duration. So on Eclipse, if you're using Zada, it doesn't really matter. On Eclipse, with 227, I think you get about 45 seconds worth of Eclipse, and that should be more than enough to kill it. Okay, and then if you're using Mazelon, you want to make sure you're using Electric Shield because it does give you more crit damage as well as elect damage. If you're using Felarks without so as you can see here, I don't have a Riven for Felarks for minus CC, and we don't want to be running Viral. I forgot to mention this. Viral does less damage. It has a damage reduction towards Thumper's health, so we don't want to run Viral. I don't have a minus CC, so if you can get it to 0 or below, so if you can get it to 0 or negative CC, then you could use Volt Shield. But if you use Volt Shield with positive crit chance, you're going to be hitting crits, so we don't want to use Volt Shield unless we have negative CC here. And for Felarks, this is the build you want to use. We're going to run Atomic for the radiation. It also gives us some magazine capacity, which is nice. We want to run Shotgun Barrage for fire rate. We want to run Point Blank Cleanse Grenier because Thumper counts as a Grenier unit. And then we want to run the Prime Elec, and then we want to mod for Blast right here. And then we want to use Hell. This is the same exact I should throw this on more multi-shot. I forgot. It's the same energy cost. We'll throw on Hell Chamber. I want to run Fractalized Reset because we will not be using Holster to reload because that is downtime, because Volt 2 increases our reload speed. I don't know if it says, but oh yeah, reload speed about 69% right here. And then plus Fractalized Reset, as you can see, we get 5 seconds on reload. Sometimes it'll proc, sometimes it won't. And on top of that, we want to be running a, what's it called, right here? Increase our fire rate by amount of shells loaded. So that's why we want to reload instead of use holster, because when you holster, that's downtime, and because we're already using our reload speed ability and arcane, this is a much better option. You get more DPS. Okay, and that's pretty much it. So let's go test it out. So there is a way to force spawn, but that is with Narmer, and if I recall, Narmer Tusk Thumpers do not count as Grenier units. But we'll just use that to test because that's the only way I know how to force spawn them at the moment. I would have to do more testing and see how to force spawn them in normal steel, but I know they spawn randomly. But if you go Narmer, you just want to do exactly as I do, and it will force spawn. If you're host, just get there first before everyone spawns and you're fine. So you come out, you drop that. I don't have Archwing deploy or key-minded. You land right here. You want to proc that, hit Shock Trooper. Now we get 363. Do it again, and then activate that. Oh, I forgot a strip. I can't aim for shit right now. And it is dead. So with some air and aiming, and I didn't strip, we still got a 46-second extract time. Okay, which is really good. We'll rerun it again. Mazelon and Arcabex methods are slower because Zada is just overpowered. Mazelon's also harder to hit. Felarks has a bunch of pellets, and Arcabex is even harder because you cannot move. So let's do it again. Drop right here. Proc that. Proc Shock Trooper. The reason we proc Shock Trooper so early is because it has a 90-second timer. Strip. Oh, got knocked down. Okay, there we go. There we go. There we go. Get out of here with 43. If you're running Prime Sure-Footed, you should be able to get there faster. But that's pretty much it. I could do a Mazelon demonstration, but I don't have clips on this right now, so the damage is gonna be dog shit. But again, if you run Eclipse with Electric Shield, you should be hitting about, well, my Archivex, I mean my Void Rig isn't level 30, so the actually it doesn't matter because I'm using Muslin, I'm stupid. You should be hitting about like 6k to 7k per hit, so per projectile it should be hitting 6 to 7k per projectile. Oh no, that's Archivex, sorry. Amazon should be hitting about 1.9 to 2.2k with this build with 556 Eclipse, and with the Shock Trooper. I did not I did not test what's it called? Let's test that right now. I keep forgetting.